All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and welcome all inside the broadcast here. What a wonderful way to kick off our week from Principal Park. That's the backdrop for our Class 4A heavy-hitting battle here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for tuning in, making this a part of your day. I am Andrew Brown, helping to give you the balls and strikes and all that in between here, but we have a very, again, along with a heck of an outing, a heck of a game here today. As we bring you into the broadcast booth here in just a second, I've got here with me a guy who knows baseball very well, has coached in it for, a couple years here and there. I got the one and only Quinn O'Brien joining me as we go inside the booth here. And Quinn, as you step on over here, I just want to say, first off, welcome back. Welcome back to the field. I'm sure this is obviously nothing new to you, but you've done this a couple times.
Yeah, it's been a change this year. Not coaching at the high school level and switching to 8-year-olds is a little bit different. But, no, it's great to be back. This is going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. It's a great ballpark. Obviously, it's a shame, not very many high school teams get to play here anymore with the state tournament moving. But,
yeah.
No, it's going to be fun. The weather's perfect. A lot of fans out tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
We'll get to our starting lineups here, brought to you by Casmium Sports. And I got to say, first and foremost, this is, again, a really kind of a treat here. Absolutely love where both of these programs are headed. Both these programs are really on the right track to go a lot. And, both these programs, and even in the season, have had really big highs. They've had some challenges. And one of the things that we're seeing here, we've seen Johnston already with a couple losses under their belt that we don't see normally throughout a Johnston team this early on in the season. Of course, Waukee lost an uncharacteristic one to Fort Dodge in the recent past here. So both of these teams, they're as strong as they are, they're also, showing that they're still human.
Yeah, for sure. Johnston's played a pretty tough schedule. Doubleheader with Indianola, who's in our top 10, Sioux City East last Friday. And then Centennial kind of came out and smacked them last. I believe it was Thursday night and swept them at home, which, doesn't happen very often. And then Waukee, like you mentioned, off to just a great start, leading the team or leading the state in home runs, hitting over 330 as a team. So, well-deserving of our number one spot this week. So, yeah, it should be a good matchup. And
again, ladies and gentlemen, any thoughts or more that you want here, LG Clips, let's go. Really appreciate the comments here. Keep them coming. This is going to be one that this is a heavy-hitting bout, and we saw this from the get-go. These two teams have taken a top two spot at some point already through the first 3 weeks. What we're going to see here, we could see a lot here. We're going to get to our keys to the game here in just a bit, but we'll take you first and foremost. We'll get you a look at our batting order for each squad as we take you to look at the beautiful field known as Principal Park. And we're going to start here with the Johnston Dragons, who will be labeled a home team in today's contest. Kyler Steck, the DH, will start things off, followed by Will Nuss, and then Sam Kemmer in the number 3 hole. As you continue on, as you can see and continue on from there. After that, Owen Hupfer is next, followed by Mason Tell. Avi Taylor, the sophomore. Again, when you see sophomores on a Johnston lineup, you know you're doing something right. Maxim Minks doing the job at the number 7 hole, followed by Sam Kinney and number 8. And rounding up the second leadoff batter, as you would say, Trevin Helming, another sophomore, doing the duties here at the number 9 hole spot. And then we'll take a look at, as we move on over to the Waukee lineup here, there'll be the away team on the scoreboard, and they look like this. The Iowa commit, Gavin DeJesus, up. He's starting things off, followed by the pitcher in Grant Sorensen, the South Dakota State commit. Matt Meeker, a huge name that we've seen across the landscape here for Waukee in this season. He's in the cleanup spot, followed by Carter Johnson, and then Ryan Langling doing the duties up next, followed by the center fielder in Will Biggs. And it will be continued on with Braden Moore doing the duties here in the number 7 hole. Number 8 will be Lincoln Brown. He'll be the DH in today's contest. And then it will be the first baseman and Cale Sealer doing the duties as we get rocking there at the number 9 hole. So again, that is your starting lineup, your batting order here as we take a look. But now we're going to get things rocking. We're going to take a look at the defensive side of things. And as we do, we're going to start things off with the Waukee Warriors. And again, as we look at their formation, it will be Grant Sorensen, again, South Dakota State commit. He'll be doing the pitching duties in today's contest. And then Ryan Langling, we mentioned him. He'll be behind the dish. Sealer at first, Moore at second, DeJesus at short, Johnston at the hot corner. Davidson, Biggs, and Meeker will round out the lineup here in the outfield for the Warriors. And then as we take a look at the Johnston Dragons, their defensive order will look just like this. Minks will do the duties behind the dish. Callan will be rocking things pitching wise here, and again he is the one being DH for here today. Again, Adam Callan, and then it'll be Sam Kemmer, the Sacramento State commit, at first, followed by Owen Hupfer at second. Trevin Helming will be doing the duties at short. Will Nuss, the Kirkwood commit, will be at third, and then outfield from left to right will be Kenny, Taylor, and Tell. And that will be how your defensive setup here for the Johnston Dragons as we continue to rock on here. And now, of course, I want to give you a little bit of a breakdown here, ladies and gentlemen, as we take a look at our comparison of these two teams, brought to you by Casmium Sports. And as you can see right here, this is quite the series here as we get the scoreboard out of the way. But quite the series we have in here. Johnston leads the all-time series 25-9. It's been 10-1 over the last 11 games. Johnston has taken this series. As you can see there, both these teams, phenomenal years last year, ended up at the state tournament. Of course, losing just shy of making the title game, of course. But both these teams rocking it still. Again, Johnston, 34 wins from a year prior, 26 for the Waukee Warriors. And again, shout out to Coach Dirks and company, as again, we'll take a quick break for the national anthem after this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready here and set. We'll bring you back here as we take a look at things. And again, we're going to go ahead and bring you back to our team comparison here. These guys, Quinn, as we bring you back into the fold here, there's a lot of guys that have some experience. In the end, both these teams return a trio of guys of 30-plus total bases. And of course, we mentioned Sam Kemmer, the Sacramento State commit, Will Nuss, committed to Kirkwood. On the other side, Grant Sorensen, South Dakota State commit, and then Gavin DeJesus, the Iowa commit. You have quite a bit of guys who have big impacts in this game, and will.
Yeah, for sure. When you start looking at Johnston, they bring back, like you said, a number of guys who really contributed. to last year state semifinal team, specifically, Will Nuss, he's a senior. Seems like he's been there 7 or 8 years. He started since he was a freshman.
Yes, he has.
And Sam Kemmer, obviously, was a great player for them last year, had a big hit in that first-round game to beat Waukee Northwest. And then Max Minks took on a lot of the catching duties last year. But then, like you said, you do see some new names in the lineup. Owen Hupfer, Avi Taylor, Sam Kinney, those guys getting a shot this year. And then really want to call out the starting shortstop tonight, Trevin Helming, because I believe it's his first start of the year, only 1 or 2 at-bats on the year. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do, if he can handle Sorensen. And then you look at Waukee, kind of the same thing. They bring back some proven guys into Jesus and Sorensen, who you called out are going on to play some high-level college baseball after their high school careers are over. But then there are also, some of their big hitters who have put up just ridiculous numbers so far this year. A freshman, Will Biggs, and then sophomore, Matt Meeker.
Yeah.
Hitting, 379, 387, respectively. Meeker with 4 home runs already. Be interesting to see how the ball plays in this big park, though. So that'd be something to watch for sure.
Yeah, and can't wait to see how this breaks down. And again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to follow along, give us your thoughts and more. It's now time to get right to it, to the action. Here we go. And again, it starts off as the Waukee Warriors to look at. They start things off with Gavin DeJesus as he kicks things off, rocking it early here in this one. And again, DeJesus off to a strong start in his 2025 campaign. And now we look. And we go 2-0 for the count to start things off.
Yeah, and DeJesus can really run too, so always a threat to bunt, and really got to get rid of it if he hits it on the ground here. So if you put him on early, he's real trouble on the bases.
That one gets lifted, and that will be off the wall. That will be at least a little bit extra bases. Now we get coming around to third, and that's a stand-up triple here, Quinn. What a shot.
Yeah, he took advantage of that 2-0 count and really put a drive into it to right center field. An easy stand-up triple for DeJesus.
So a nice shot. We got a runner on third and nobody out here, as now it's Grant Sorensen, a pitcher-on-pitcher matchup here following the triple. Sorensen leading this squad with 28 total bases on the year, swings through that one for a strike, batting .452. I mean, this guy, in the end, 8 extra base hits on the year, 13 runs driven in. So the 0-1, that will be too low ball.
Yeah, and it's going to be key for Callan to really get ahead of these guys, because as you already saw with the leadoff batter, if you fall behind and have to put it over the plate, they can really do some damage.
Yeah, in the end, both these programs are very efficient. That one comes right back to us. Man. You know, Quinn, I could have had a souvenir ball.
I know. First game at Principal Park, neither of us brought our gloves.
Thanks, Grant. Try it again. We'll be better this time. One of these days we'll get it. But nonetheless, we go to a 2-strike count here. 1-2 delivery. That one had rung him up outside, and that one a little bit above the letters. Almost looked like it was kind of up and away. You could tell not a fan of that one, but nonetheless, again, strikeout here for the Johnston Dragons.
Yeah, that pitch, Max Mink set up outside, off the plate away to Sorensen, and Callan hit his spot, but got the ring up, so that's all that counts. But yeah, that appeared it might have been a couple inches off.
And now it's the encompassing Matt Meeker. And, boy, I didn't even get many words in there before he gets his way onto the base pass here. I was going to say, he is going to be a big contributor, whether it's like this, they try and go too far inside and try and find a ways around the zone, or he just clobbers the ball, which he's been doing all season.
Yeah, you really got to be careful with him. Can't leave anything out over the plate and can't fall behind. Try to come inside a little too close there, and Meeker just took it off the shoulder.
Johnson Carter now stepping on up to the plate. Not a ton in the way of productivity from him, except for, and I shouldn't say that. In the end, 345 average, 17 total bases on the year.
Yeah, and Meeker with a big lead over there at first. Might not be a terrible time to put on a first and third play, get somebody moving on the bases, see if they can't produce a run here in the first.
So runners on the corners. Trying to keep them honest there, and in the end, good job by Kemmer there.
Yeah, they had him leaning there. I think a good well-placed throw for sure would have had him picked off there. Fortunately for Waukee, the throw was a little to the home plate side, and he got back in there safe.
So the 1-0 count. A look and fire. That one too far out. The runner taken off to second. There will be a throw, but it will not be in time. Successful stolen base and kind of a little bit of a risk there, but in the end it pays off for him. So now we have runners at first and second here. A 2-0 count. And, you know, if you're Callan on the mound right now, you've already found yourself in a sticky situation. But, you know, this is something that Waukee tends to do to a lot of teams here.
Yeah, and again, Callan's really got to work ahead here, try to put the ball around the zone and get ahead of these hitters here. Could be a long day.
So a 3-0 count here. And again, one of the things, you have first base open, so it's not the end of the world if you walk them, but you still have nobody out. There's a one out, I should say.
Yeah, they did get the strikeout of Sorensen in the second batter.
The next pitch, that one sails too high. That's ball 4, and it's now gone from a little rough to it's real sticky here. So we have DeJesus on at third, Meeker at second, and we have Johnston rocking it at first. Ryan Lingeling now up at the plate, and of course, got a meeting on the mound here. And you know, Quinn, when during your days here, what's the conversation here? It's first inning. Obviously, it's not like they're going to take them out. You haven't had any runs scored yet.
Right. I think the biggest thing that Coach Hendrickson's doing out there right now is just trying to calm his young starter down. Probably hasn't pitched in a game this big, a big park. It's a different view against the top hitting team in the state. I think he's just reminding him to slow down, breathe, trust his defense and throw strikes.
I mean, in the end, that's all you can do, right? Just kind of trust the process, so to speak, and kind of see where it ends up. And in the end, Langling has a chance. Really, virtually anything aside from a double play would benefit them, or at least in the run column, you'd think. Takes a look at that one, too high, ball 1.
Yeah, and Johnson's bringing the corners in here, so first and third will try to come home here, get the double play, and then they'll play for the double play ball up the middle with short and second.
So Waukee and Johnston. What a series this has been overall. Swings through that one. Johnston on a 10-1 run over the last 11 games between these two squads. And, in the end, you kind of look at it here, and it's just been absolute tear that Johnston's been on the last 5 years especially, let alone the rest of it. It's been an absolutely stellar ever since they went back-to-back.
Yeah, definitely a good run for the Dragons. But, if you talk to the coaching staff or the players, they know, it's a new season, new squad, and they're taking it, trying to take it game by game here and know they're playing a really, really talented team in Waukee tonight.
And the 2-1 count. Bases are loaded. That one tried to find that strike that was there earlier. Ends up not there now. 3-1 here, the mark. And in danger of potentially walking home a run, which, again, kind of at some point maybe weigh your options here. And now the look, the fire, the throw. That one is hit. That one is possibly playable. Flowing, and a nice catch. Wow. To be honest, Quinn, I thought that one was a goner.
Yeah, that ball hit really high back behind home plate. Max Minks had to avoid the umpire there for a second, but made a great play coming back towards fair territory to get a huge, huge out. He drops that, and, you give that batter another chance with the bases loaded here.
I mean, truly, that could have been – that's a huge out. That is something that honestly, is huge as Will Biggs steps up to the plate with trying to do something here. But, honestly, there's little the freshman can do right now. He has to get a base hit for sure. So he has 16 total bases on the year through 11 hits. So you'd hope that, he could again rein that in here. But one of the many bright stories between both of these programs here. So the 1-0 count. Bases all juiced with the Warriors. Here's the pitch. A nice breaker, just couldn't find the zone there. A nice bite to it, but in the end, 2-0. And you kind of put yourself in a little trouble when you go down 2-0 as a pitcher.
Yeah, for sure, especially against a dangerous hitter at the plate. That one looked like it may have caught the inside, but called the ball.
And now that one wisely lays off at 3-0. And, as it sits right now, we do have 2 down. So it's not like you can't get out of this unscathed. But there's a lot of work to be done yet. The 3-0 count. We'll see if he is swinging through this one. They're looking to fire. Given the stop sign all the way, that one's in there for the strike, 3-1. So the inning started with a DeJesus triple, followed by a Sorensen strikeout. Meeker hit by a pitch. Johnston with a walk. Langling with a pop out, and that's where we stand right now. Chance to get something for Waukee, but with 2 down. Here's the pitch. Swings through that one, and this could be the magic trick of all first inning magic tricks. Bases loaded, get out of this one unscathed. You got to give themselves, if they get this, a pat on the back.
For sure, and now you got a full count with 2 outs, so the runners are going to be moving when he commits to home. So basically anything to the outfield for sure is going to score 2, maybe even 3.
Looking to fire. That one is hit right side. Will it find its way onto the grass? And it will. That'll plate 1 for sure. Coming on home is run number 2. And just like that, hey, have yourself a first inning. Will Biggs will punch 2, and the Waukee Warriors are up now with a 2-0 lead. Now that's something you want. That's something you love to see as a coach, and they take prime opportunity and now are up in this one 2-0.
Yeah, huge hit there. Huge hit. Full count, base loaded, 2 outs. Could have went either way there, but great job by him poking that pitch on the outside corner to right field, scored 2 runs.
Braden Moore's now stepping on up to the plate, looking to getting something rocking here. The bright pink gloves rocking. First pitch he sees swings through, strike 1.
Another big lead at first base over there. Wouldn't be surprised to see somebody moving here.
Do you think they'd act there? Would there be a play at second at this point?
Yeah, I think Johnston will probably throw this through if he does try to run.
Trying to catch him napping there at first. Nicely done, but not in time. And we keep rocking on. It's an 0-1 count here. Again, this is the nightcap of the games here. Again, Nevada and PCM battled earlier in the afternoon game as well. And, of course, there were 3 total games here, as that one is called a balk. And with that, the Warriors now lead an unconventional lead, though, but they lead 3-0 just the same.
Yeah, a little flinch there from Cowan really cost him. Scored a run, runner on first, moves to second.
So Moore has already seen 1 run cross during his time. He swings through that one. That will be strike 2. Again, Waukee Johnston, the battle here. They have had plenty of amazing games in the past, and we're already looking at another one here as we go through the game. This is just one game, normally be conference doubleheader, but when you get the chance to play at Principal during the regular season, you think, why not? Just go for it. So the 2-strike count, the look of the fire. Swings through that one, and they get out of another jam, but not before the Warriors plate 2 runs on a Will Biggs RBI single, and then a balk brought home run number 3. So it's a 3-0 advantage here for the Warriors. And coming on up, it will be the chance for the Johnston Dragons to get going here with Steck, Nuss, and Kemmer when we come back right here on the IA Baseball Network.
I remember personally when I was young watching the guys that were playing sports, basketball, football, wrestling, whatever it was, when they were in high school and just thinking, how great they were and just wanting to be like them when I was older. So yeah, we are definitely always role models for those younger kids, those middle schoolers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back here. Kyler Steck kicking things off here, bottom of inning number 1. And that one is a blooper out there into right center field. That will be the first base hit of the game for the Warriors, or the Dragons, excuse me. And it comes on the first batter of the game.
Yeah, Steck doing a nice job there, knowing he was going to see strikes. Took a good cut first at bat, fouled it off, and then put one into shallow center. And keep an eye on Steck over there. He leads the team in stolen bases. He's 6 for 6 on the early end of the year. So see if the Dragons try to get a move in here.
And Will Nuss stepping on up. For him, 8 hits, 14 total bases on the year. As he takes a look there, and we get ball 1 to start the at-bat. So, honestly, if you're Johnston right now, this has got to be one where you come out as, honestly, I think as hard as you can at this point. I don't think there's a sense of urgency. That one gets away, though. And now we have a runner on second. And, hey, both teams with leadoff guys onto the base pass, and not just that, but in scoring position.
Yeah, miscue there from Sorensen. Knowing Steck was a threat to steal, try to pick him off and put him in the dirt, and Steck moves over to second.
Nuss is a very patient hitter in my estimation. He's done a lot. He goes so deep in counts at times, but he can also be aggressive. Really needs to. That one laced out there to the hot corner, a pickup and a fire across the diamond. Will get him at first. That's why they call it the hot corner there. Johnson, that was almost so hard that, there was only one play. It almost was a chance to get him at second, too.
Yeah, that ball smoked to the third baseman and just played it nicely, stayed in front, got a good short hop, and then made a solid throw over to first to retire Will Nuss.
And the Sacramento State commit and Sam Kemmer stepping on up to the plate. Chance to do something here and rock it. Again, we've seen Kemmer have some big moments here over the last couple of years, but again, he has been one of those, again, kind of old Mr. Reliables over the past couple of seasons, and especially last year. And in the end, he leads this team tied in 14 total bases on the year through 10 hits. A look to fire and sends that one back, foul ball.
Yeah, Kemmer took a good cut at that one, fouled back to the screen, and now he's going to have to battle with 2 strikes.
Again, Andrew Brown and Quinn O'Brien here from Principal Park. Waukee taking on Johnston. Again, Waukee looking to break the 11-game mark here. It's 10-1 Johnston against the Warriors over the past 11 games. Again, got to give a shout-out to Waukee, though. 2 years ago, this was a team under 500, was just kind of having a little bit of struggles when it came to CIML play or just overall through their tough schedule. But then last year, they bounced back and they make the state tournament. I mean, we've all known what Coach Dirks has been able to do, but I mean that's working your magic quite a bit there, and you got to give credit to him and his coaching staff because this team is now set yet again to make a state tournament run.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe just missing a piece or two last year, and it's still early this year, but really seemed to have found him with some of these young players.
So here we go. That one gets shot high, and that'll be out of play. Again, it's a 3-0 advantage early. It was a Biggs two-run RBI single that helped put Waukee up 2-0, and then a balk ended up plating the third run, and that's where we stand at a 3-0 advantage here. That pitch too far and away, easily laid off here. The count now 1-2. Here's one down. Runner on second here for the Dragons. In a season that will be the farewell tour here for Coach Michael Barta. And again, there's some people saying the script is written. Certainly this team is talented enough to get to the state tournament here. But, Quinn, you've coached with Barta for a long time. What were your thoughts when the news came out that this was his last season, or when he told you, or when you got the news?
Yeah, definitely a big change for Mike. I think, at the end of the day, Mike's always going to do as Kemmer goes down swinging there for out number 2. But I think at the end of the day, Mike's always going to do what he thinks is best for his family. And, he loves his hometown of Carroll and still has a lot of family there. And so they made the decision to make a move. And I think he'll do some great things, going to help out Carroll Kemper. So that'll be really fun to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think they'll definitely be one of the front runners looking at next year for sure. That one gets laced out there into left center field. That will find the gap. And now we get a runner coming on home. There will be a throw, but it will not be in time. And Johnston gets a one onto the board here. It's now a 3-1 game.
Yeah, great piece of hitting there by Hupfer. Like I said, Sorensen's going to be around the zone and being aggressive early in the count. Put a solid single out to left center. Easily scored from second base.
And now the right fielder in Mason Tell up to the plate. Again, one of those juniors kind of waiting his turn, gets there and ends up getting his chance here in this one. That one gets sent high. That will be right field. And that will be nicely played out there in right. And as Meeker captures out number 3, we will go ahead and mention that this broadcast brought to you by the Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse in Galena, Illinois. Great food, great atmosphere, just an overall great time. I urge you to check them out. They help make this broadcast and many more possible. So all you got to do is head on over there, get yourself a reservation, and just have some fun with it. Again, great people. You will not be disappointed. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick break. When we come back, it will be Waukee, round 2 of their batting order when we return right here on the IA Baseball Network.
I remember personally when I was young watching the guys that were playing sports, basketball, football, wrestling, whatever it was, when they were in high school and just thinking, how great they were and just wanting to be like them when I was older. So yeah, we are definitely always role models for those younger kids, those middle schoolers.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Brown here with Quinn O'Brien. It is top of inning number 2, a 3-1 advantage here for the Waukee Warriors. Again, as we take a look at that last half inning, you had a pair of hits help bring across 1 run for the Johnston Dragons. They leave 1 on base. And now we continue to rock on with the number 8 hole man in number 4, Lincoln Brown, the DH in today's contest. Again, he's a guy that's been having a strong season. That one out too far outside, ball 1. Brown on the season, batting .500, hasn't had a ton of time, has had 6 at-bats here, but has driven in 1. So getting the chance to get something rocking here. And again, on a stage like this, it's in the end, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, for sure. Great opportunity for a high school kid to play at a AAA park. And
that one lifted out there into center field and coming on strong. The nice catch will be out number 1. And again, the center fielder in Biggs. So with 1 down, we continue on, and now it's Cale Seiler up at the plate. His first chance here in this one, batting out of the number 9 hole. And that one's in there for strike 1.
Yeah, we've already seen earlier in this game, Johnston really trying to pound that outside corner or move it just off the plate, and getting a few of those calls, and some of times might just be an inch or so off the plate, but that seems to be the strategy right away, is try to work that outside corner.
35th battle in the all-time series in the Bound era. And that one nicely done, framed behind the plate there. I got to say, it looked like he may have taken a strike there.
Yeah, Max is really going to try to work that, like I said, that outside corner, try to bring balls back. And
there you go. He's really working that outside. That's been another strikeout. And by accounts, that's the 3rd strikeout that he has done, and he has hit the outside corner every time for the strikeout.
Yeah, for sure. And Sorensen, obviously, sitting in the dugout, can see that. And you can bet when Waukee comes back out, they're gonna try to get that pitch as well.
Gavin DeJesus back up at the plate, and we know what he did last time up. He just shot one into the gap and made it all the way. As that one gets hit high, foul ball, that will be out of play. Strike 1. But again, the speed of DeJesus. I got the chance to talk with someone close to the Iowa coaching staff, and they said that they love what he does without the bat in his hands. Gavin DeJesus has been very quick, very speedy, and that's kind of something that can change, from a single to a double, or in this case, a double to a triple. He can find ways to impact in so many different avenues, and that's, I think, in the end, you look at D1 players today, they can do so much more after the bat has left their hands.
Yeah, for sure. You saw some power from DeJesus. Already has a home run on the year. Like you said, can run, 7 stolen bases already, and then he's proven he's a great glove guy up the middle. So really a versatile player, and I think a lot of colleges would have been happy to have him.
And, of course, that was his first at-bat was his first triple of the season as he takes strike 2 there to bring it even at 2-2. There are 2 out here, and we have, as they say, deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. That one gets roped out there. That'll find its way into the outfield grass. And now the Waukee leadoff man, 2 for 2 on the day. That just looked like a get out there, meet the bat with the ball, and the bat and the ball did the rest there, as that puts him onto the base pass. And, just when you thought, man, maybe we could have gotten out of this one as a Johnston fan, you're stuck with it yet again as Grant Sorensen gets his chance up. And I got to think right now, he's going, okay, I'm getting that outside. That outside's there. I mean, do you cheat that way at the plate?
Yeah, you may have to, or you just really got to think opposite field, with your approach and try to drive the ball the other way, because I'm sure Johnson's going to keep pounding that pitch just off the plate if they're getting that call. Really look for DeJesus here to set sail for second with 2 outs.
And now the pause. They'll throw on over to first. And he knew it too. Callan knew exactly. I think at this point, DeJesus is one of those guys you can know what's coming, and you still might get beat by it. So the look now, and he'll fire back to first.
Was leaning a tad there. Like I said, I'm sure he's looking to run, just looking for the right pitch. Johnston does have someone up in the bullpen already. Can't quite make out the number. We'll try to get that for you guys, but Callan already with 39 pitches, not through the second inning yet, so really running that pitch total up.
And that one too high for a ball, evens it up at 1 apiece. In the end, this isn't a doubleheader here, so it's not like you're straining guys for the next game coming up. You can put all in here, but certainly if something is not going too well, these offenses will exacerbate any flaw that happens. And again, Callan isn't doing a terrible job. Waukee is just that kind of an offense that will impact you in any which way, and it's never a good thing with that offense. That one too far inside. That will be ball 2. And again, that Waukee offense has been strong all season. We've watched them put up double digits along with the Johnston Dragons too. Both these teams find a way to compound 1 run into 2, 2 runs into 3, and so on and so forth. And so the runner taken off to Jesus with the throw. The tag applied, but it is not in time. And there you go. Gavin DeJesus picks up another stolen base on the year. You talked about it, Quinn. And this is just a guy where no matter what you do, he's going to make an impact. You just have to try and limit it.
Yeah, saw the pitch he wanted to go. Got a good jump. Mink's not a great pitch to throw on, kind of down in the zone, and just threw it to the third base side of second. Didn't really have a chance there.
Callan with the look, and he'll fire home now. That one on a slow chopper out there to third. The pick, the fire from Nuss. And actually, there was no fire in the end, and that is because, again, a tough play there. That ball pretty much died as it got onto the grass.
Yeah, weakly hit to third base. Will may have had a play there, might have bobbled that ball a little bit and decided to just pump fake, see if he could get DeJesus heading off a second. But decided to hold up with the throw, and that'll go down as an infield single.
So two back-to-back singles here for the Waukee Warriors. Put 2 runners onto the base pass here. DeJesus into scoring position for the second time in this early going. And now Matt Meeker, I'll say it here quick before anything happens, a power bat. Again, capable of taking it oppo, taking it pull side, doesn't matter. He's found a way to produce big here early in the season, and you got to work carefully around him here. Here's the pitch. He'll look at that one for ball 1.
Yeah, started him off speed. Looked like it may have caught the corner of the plate, but called the ball by Kirkpatrick.
Meeker already with 4 home runs this season. He is one of the state's top home run machines so far.
Yeah, and Johnston will play him deep in the outfield and then apply an infield shift with Hupfer over towards first base and the shortstop on the first base side of second. So really expecting him to pull the ball here. So if he can put something on the ground to the left side, likely we'll get an RBI and a single.
Again, this is a deep enough ballpark, even by AAA standards, I should say. This is certainly a ballpark where you really have to go and run. And there you go. You hear the boos rain down. Matt Meeker, for the second time in this game, has been hit by pitch.
Yeah, Johnston game plan coming to the game must have been to try to get inside on him, and so far they haven't been able to execute that pitch and have hit him twice. And
now that brings up for the second time in this game, Waukee with a bases loaded situation and 2 down. And now Carter Johnson back up to the plate. He walked in his first plate appearance. Again, a chance for some big offense here. Already up 3-1. 6 combined hits entering this inning. Four have come here for Waukee, and they would love another one here. And the pitch. That one gets hit high out of play. That'll be strike 2.
Great job by Callan, working ahead 0-2 here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Can't imagine he's going to try to work this one anywhere near the plate and see if they can't get Johnston to chase something.
You know, at this point, too, you got the chance. Why not kind of go with it? That one I don't think was what he was looking for there, but you got – right now it seems like the outer edge of the plate is being called. He's given that leeway out there to that side. So I assume, try and paint that corner as much as you can here.
Yeah, came up with the fastball last time. Wouldn't be surprised to see a breaking ball on the outside.
And there you go.
And there it is.
Strikeout. That would mark strikeout number 4 for Callan. And, despite what's gone on in the run column, he did thwart any more offense coming from Waukee here with the bases loaded, and that's strikeout number 4.
Yeah, huge pitch there to really keep Johnston in this game, because a big hit there really opens it up and puts your team in some trouble.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, It'll be more. It'll be Johnston's time to answer in the bottom half when we return.
I remember personally when I was young watching the guys that were playing sports.
RDA Financial Network is a proud sponsor of IABaseball.com. RDA supports the sport of baseball in the state of Iowa. We believe the game of baseball promotes many values such as hard work, determination, and teamwork, values that matter on and off the baseball field, and values that we demonstrate to our clients every day in our offices across the country. RDA provides financial planning and wealth management services to our clients in 6 communities in the state of Iowa. RDA Financial Network is an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. RDA advisors may offer securities through United Planners Financial Services, a member of FINRA and SIPC. United Planners is not affiliated with RDA Financial Network nor IABaseball.com. Please visit RDAFN.com to find an RDA advisor near you.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The sophomore Avi Taylor stepping on up here and getting things rocking. He will take a look at ball one, low and away here to start his first at-bat here from Principal Park here in downtown Des Moines. A beautiful venue here. I love coming here for iCubs games, so if you get the chance, hey, make that a trip too. It's always a fun time. So we even up the count here at 1 apiece. Taylor, the sophomore on the year with 6 hits, 11 total bases, batting .261 on the season.
Yeah, and Avi not looking great there on that off-speed pitch. Wouldn't be surprised to see Sorensen stick with some spin.
Sorensen already 11 strikeouts on the season. Again, young season at that. That one's popped foul. That'll be out of play. It remains a 2-strike count. Again, like we mentioned, Sorensen on the year, actually 19 strikeouts, stand corrected. Teams hitting just 167 against him. He's only given up 8 hits, 3 walks, just 6 earned runs through a 2-0 record. And that one hurt from up here, Quinn.
Yeah, and I think he's going to keep him there and say he turned into that pitch.
And I think you're right, because Coach Barta already out, having a couple of words here. A little bit of a question mark there, but man, that really doesn't help when you have to go back in. It seemed like it seemed like a little bit of a stinger there.
Yeah, it will be a ball, but umpire behind the plate must have thought he turned into that pitch.
The next pitch, nonetheless, swung through and strike 3 as he'll be set down. That's strikeout number 2 on the day here for Sorensen. Maxim Minks now up to the plate. Minks on the year hasn't had a ton of time, except for 10 games played, I should say. Batting .258, 12 total bases here. He has driven in 10.
Yeah, and Max dealing with a little bit of an arm issue earlier this year. Kind of fell into that role of the team's regular catcher last year. Like I said, arm issue, kind of limited to the DH spot, but tonight back in that catcher role.
And now we have strike 1. So we have our 1-strike count here, and again, Minks first time up here in today's contest. Now the fire from Sorensen, got him swinging on a pitch high and away. Tried to connect, not too much of a home run swing, but just couldn't quite find it there. 1-2 now. Again, normal depth here for the Waukee infield. Now the 1-2. Swings through that one, pulled the string just a bit, got him out front, and now we have two quick outs here and 2 consecutive strikeouts. And now that'll bring up Sam Kinney to the plate. Kinney looking to continue a strong season for him.
Yeah, and Kinney squaring a bunt there. Kinney does move well. Saw the third baseman back and was going to try to lay one down there even with 2 outs and no one on.
He does have a sacrifice this year. He has 7 total bases in the grand scheme of things. And now he has a 1-0 count. That one too far outside, 2-0. So again, Johnston and Waukee, the 35th meeting in the all-time series. Again, 25-9 is the advantage held by Johnston. That pitch will find its way into the zone here and make it 2-1. So right here, you also have to know the advantage that the batter has at a 2-1 count. Still could change pretty quickly here, but you still got to be somewhat aggressive, but not letting it too much into the zone. Kind of find that tightrope line, and in the end, it's still the advantage here for Kenny now at a 3-1 count. That one hit high, but that one will be playable out there at third. And coming on under it will be Johnson, and he will officially secure out number 3. So with that, not a ton of offense going there. 1, 2, 3 go the Johnston Dragons after the pop out here to third. And with that, there is no hits, no runs, and no errors. And we'll be back to give you more here as we take a look at Waukee with Langling, Biggs, and more right after this here on the IA Baseball Network. We'll be right back.
RDA Financial Network is a proud sponsor of IABaseball.com. RDA supports the sport of baseball in the state of Iowa. We believe the game of baseball promotes many values such as hard work, determination, and teamwork, values that matter on and off the baseball field, and values that we demonstrate to our clients every day in our offices across the country. RDA provides financial planning and wealth management services to our clients in 6 communities in the state of Iowa. RDA Financial Network is an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. RDA advisors may offer securities through United Planners Financial Services, a member of FINRA and SIPC. United Planners is not affiliated with RDA Financial Network nor IABaseball.com. Please visit rdafn.com to find an RDA advisor near you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new pitcher here for the Johnston Dragons as we get you started with a brand new inning here as we are rocking the top half of inning number 3. And as we do so, again, new pitcher onto the mound here in Rico Valdez here in Quinn. Again, what we see from Johnston time and time again is some good bullpen help, and I think they got that here.
Yeah, a couple appearances on the year, 4 1/3 inning, but first pitch there, he puts it over the plate. And Langling punches it out to right center for a single.
And in the end, this is a big stage, regardless of if it's a regular season game. It's still a big stage. Langling did a good job there, found the pitch. And I think in the end, you don't want to get too deep with these Johnston pitchers because you could get in trouble. So if you see something you like, might as well run with it. And now Will Biggs stepping on up to the plate. Biggs had that 2-run single back in the first and would certainly like to add something here, a conversation with Coach Dirks. And now, chance to get something rocking here with already a runner onto the base pass. Again, 5 total hits now for then that one close, but no cigar there.
Yeah, quick move by Valdez. Almost had him over there.
5 total hits here for the Waukee Warriors. 7 total in the game via 2 from Johnston. That one too far outside for a ball.
There's a courtesy runner over there for Ling-a-Ling, I believe, number 21. That'll be Hayden Henderson. No stolen bases on the year, but they obviously are courtesy running for a reason. So don't be surprised if they try to get somebody in motion here.
That one catches the outer corner here, strike 1. So you see Nuss right now. He's standing on the grass. Looks like double play depth for the rest of the infield. Nuss now backing it back into his normal spot. That one gets away, and now a runner will be into scoring position for the third consecutive inning, I should say, here for the Waukee Warriors.
Yeah, and I did just notice Dragons also made a change at catcher. Connor Culp is back there now. I'm not sure if hopefully, like I did mention, Minx has had some arm trouble earlier in the year. Hopefully he's okay. We'll see if maybe this was just a defensive move for an inning and they'll re-enter Minx when his spot comes back up in the lineup, but that'll be something to watch as well.
And there is bullpen action for Johnston still. Not sure what the leash is here for Valdez. That one's low and too far in the dirt. Now we go 3-1 with the count. You got a runner on second here. For Johnston, how cautious do you play this?
I think at this point they just need to throw strikes and let your defense work. Can't put anyone on, give anyone a free base, and just really make Waukee earn it.
And now Colt being mentioned here. Again, thanks. We hope he's back at it. Again, like you mentioned, a little injury woes last year, but certainly would love his full utility on the field. Nonetheless, Colt doing a good job back there. Next pitch, that one is sent foul, and that will remain it a 3-2 count. So again, make sure to catch up on tomorrow. We will have our high and tight program, had to be moved from today, but our high and tight program in which we will announce our player of the week. That one on a blooper out there. A nice diving stop. Did they officially call it? Doesn't look like it was a called catch here, as that is a single. Mark it an RBI single here for, again, for Will Biggs, it continues on with the good hit spree. That's his third RBI driven in the game.
Now batting for Waukee, second baseman, Braden Moore.
Now Braden Moore stepping on up here to the plate.
Nice piece of hitting there by Biggs. Punching one out, getting a run in. Great effort by Kinney out there and right. Diving, almost came up with that catch. I thought he had it for a minute, but the ball just popped out in the last second.
And that's where my hesitation was at first, because it did look like he had it in the glove at some point. Yeah, and in the end, just squirted out and was called a hit. Again, the third run driven in here by Will Biggs, who is quietly having a very, very good night. So with still nobody out, runner on first. The corner's now in here for the Johnston defense. A swing through makes it 0-2. Moore struck out his last time up, although he did, I guess, help to bring in a run. There was a balk that helped bring in the third run for Waukee, who now has a 4-1 advantage here.
There's that outside corner again. Valdez placing that ball well, getting the strikeout looking.
So first strikeout of the game here for Valdez, and Lincoln Brown now stepping up. The fly out to center in his first trip. Again, with one down here. And a runner on first base. Again, the inning started with a Ryan Langling single, and then a nice single here by Will Biggs helped to plate him. And so back-to-back singles followed by a strikeout have now given us one down and one on here, as Brown back up to the plate and sends that one to second. And nice play on the double play there. That was basically an atom ball, 2 steps back and a fire to first. That's how you play that one and get the double play. And Johnston out of the inning. But not before 2 hits helped to push across 1 run, and now we stand a 4-1 advantage here for the Waukee Warriors as we head into the bottom half of the inning. Before we go any further, though, got to mention to make sure to catch out the great folks at Insolites, the LED flashing insulated light that you can see from up to half a mile or more away. Electric fence owners, pick place, watch it work. Simple as that. We'll be back after this.
RDA Financial Network.
Hey everybody, got something special for all you electric fence owners out there. It's called Insolites, the LED flashing insulated light that you can see from up to half a mile or more away. It's so great you can see it from the comforts of your car or even your own home. That's right, you can put it onto almost any type of post out there, run the wire right through it, and that's all you need to do. Because Insolites goes with the pulse of the fence. So if there is no pulse, there is no flashing light. helping you locate where a problem may be or where a problem may exist that you didn't know was happening. It's simple as that. So you don't need to ground anything, add any bulky equipment, or shock yourself to test if your fence is working. All you need to do today is head to Insolites.com and get you some, and you will not be disappointed. It's simplicity at its finest. So go ahead to Insolites.com today and get you some. Oh, and by the way, make sure to tell them that IA Baseball sent you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. A bunt attempt gone wrong puts Trevin Helming down for out number one and brings up the top of the lineup for Johnston and Kyler Steck, who singled his last time up, advanced to second on a wild throw here, and now looks at a 0-1 count. That one gets lifted out there to right field, taking him back a little bit, but nice on-the-run catch here from Meeker. He'll capture out number two, and two quick down just like that. Under 5 pitches, and you have 2 outs. That's pretty efficient.
Yeah, good job by Sorensen staying in the zone, really limiting his pitch count. He's only at 32, almost through the third here.
So with 2 down, Will Nuss coming up, line out his first time up. Takes a look, check swings, but in the end, it's there for a strike, 0-1. Nuss, one of the more reliable guys, both with the bat and in the field here for Johnston. And you mentioned it earlier. He's a guy that has been on the starting roster since he was a freshman. Honestly, he is a multi-sport athlete who could really go anywhere as he looks at that one for the letter high strike on the outside.
Yeah, Will's been around a long time, played in a lot of big games. Got 2 rings his freshman and sophomore year, so the moment's not too big for him. And lined out that first at bat, hit it really hard right at the third baseman, so I'm sure he's going to want to get on base.
Yeah, it was an on-the-button shot right to third. And again, you hit him. That one, though, gets over, and that will be into the outfield grass. A nice strike here from Will Nuss. You knew it was only a matter of time, and he's back into the hit column with his first of the night, and he keeps this inning alive as Sam Kemmer steps up to the plate.
Yeah, another really hard hit ball by Will there to the left side.
And Kemmer last time up, a strikeout victim. Certainly looking to try and do something here. So far, 3 hits for Johnston. Would love to add a little bit more. Still within striking distance. This game nowhere near out of hand. But you got to think you need a little bit more than 3 hits to get this rocking.
For sure. Got to string something together here.
So the 1 strike count. And that one too far outside. Evens it up at 1 apiece. Again, make sure to check out our High and Tight program coming your way tomorrow. Our player of the game will be announced then. And, of course, amazing things we've seen this week. Really want you to go ahead and give us some good, huge videos and stuff as a runner taking off to second to throw. And the tag is implied in time. Nice shot there behind the plate. Langling with a dart. And Nuss unable to capture second on the stolen base attempt. And we have to end it right there as, again, Will Nuss thrown out at home. And that will be all she wrote. Kemmer gets the chance to step up in the 4th. But now it's time for the top half. And when we come back for Waukee, it'll be 9-1-2 when we return here on the IA Baseball Network. Hey everybody, got something special for all you electric fence owners out there. It's called Insolites, the LED flashing insulated light that you can see from up to half a mile or more away. It's so great you can see it from the comforts of your car or even your own home. That's right, you can put it onto almost any type of post out there, run the wire right through it, and that's all you need to do. Because Insolites goes with the pulse of the fence. So if there is no pulse, there is no flashing light, helping you locate where a problem may be or where a problem may exist that you didn't know was happening. It's simple as that. So you don't need to ground anything, add any bulky equipment, or shock yourself to test if your fence is working. All you need to do today is head to insolites.com and get you some, and you will not be disappointed. It's simplicity at its finest. So go ahead to insolites.com today and get you some. Oh, and by the way, make sure to tell them that IA Baseball sent you. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, into the broadcast here. Foul back here as we get rocking. Top half of inning number 4. Sealer now up at the plate. Struck out his first time up. Rico Valdez back onto the mound here for the Dragons. That one on a chopper out there. A diving attempt, but picked up by the shortstop deep in the hole. The throw, not in time.
Ooh, tight play at first. I honestly thought they got him.
It looked really, really close there. Nice job deep in the shortstop position. Again, that was kind of about mid to kind of deep in that shortstop hole. Great diving stop by Nuss. And in the end, ultimately a good throw by Helming.
Yeah, good play by the young player Helming, getting his first varsity action of the year, and did make a nice play. Banger at first, and Waukee got the call.
Now Gavin DeJesus back up at the plate. He's 2 for 2 so far in this game, both singles, a single and a triple. As that one goes for ball 1. So again, give us your thoughts, comments, more. Hit us up. What are you thinking? What do you know? Or just say hi. We'd love to talk. Love to mention you on the broadcast here as well. A throw over to first. Not in time. Safe.
Yeah, good pick out of the dirt by Colt there. Tried to back pick the runner at first, knowing Waukee's an aggressive team, and close play at first.
So Valdez with the throw home. That one on the inner portion. Letter high, strike 1. Gets it to 2-1 now. And Minks, the normal backstop here has been taken out. We'll see. His lineup spot hasn't come up just yet as that one's chopped foul. So we're hoping that he can come back in. Again, he's had some arm woes in the past. Hopefully those have not come to flare up. But, again, I know Coach Bart is always erring on the side of caution when it comes to that. So we have a 2-strike count here. A runner on first. The look and the fire. That one, a shot out there, and that will get into the outfield grass. And that will be back-to-back action onto the base pass now. 2 runners on, and yet nobody out.
Yeah, we'll see how Waukee plays this. First and second, no outs. Chance to lay down a bunt here, but with the power you got up and down Waukee's lineup, I wouldn't be surprised they just let him swing away.
And that's kind of what I wonder. Sorensen leads this team so far in total bases on the year. 28 to be exact through 11 games played, batting .452, but he lays down nonetheless. Runners will take off the wild pitch. And so now you kind of eliminate that in a sense. Obviously, you could try for the bunt, but looking like it's not going to be a bunt attempt here. So the 1-0 count here. Sorensen with runners on second and third following the wild pitch. Last time up, he has a strikeout and a single under his belt. And that one will be lifted over the head at second. That'll plate 1 for sure. DeJesus coming around third. He'll head home, and he'll cross the plate for the run. And that's 2 more onto the board here for Waukee, who's starting to open this one up. Now a 6-1 advantage.
Yeah, good piece of hitting by Sorensen there. Not trying to do too much. Puts it into center field. Scores 2 runs.
And again, you just, at the end of the day, have to hit them where they ain't. And again, Sorensen, with his second hit of the game, brings in 2. And now Matt Meeker, who has been hit by a pitch twice, steps on up to the plate.
Yeah, and you really got to be careful if you're Johnston here. Don't want this game to get completely out of hand. We've seen him try to come inside on Meeker and not be able to locate that. And Meeker's found his way to first base with 2 HBPs.
And you got to be thinking here, do they shift it and try and say, hey, we're going to now try and attack you outside? But that seems to be his bread and butter anytime middle out. That one rocketed out there to second. The double play attempt is good. That's the second one we've seen in this game. And what a play at that. Two atom balls, as you'd say. And again, too quick out there. Hard to defend if you're the guy on first.
Yeah, really unfortunate if you're Waukee there. That ball was hit pretty hard. And Sorensen doing everything he can to get back, but got doubled off. And that's two now. Two of those exact same plays that has really gone Dragons' way, where some line drives to the right side of the field where they've been able to double off the runner at first.
Foul ball here from Carter Johnston, who has gone 0 for 1 with a walk so far in this game. Again, that was pretty much an atom ball right to him. Didn't have to move very much there. And then again, if you're on first, that's just kind of one of those unfortunate plays. That one is some chin music up and in. And Johnston manages to get out of the way there. And that one is struck right up the middle, and that will be another hit here for the Waukee Warriors, who have now put up double-digit hit mark on the day with 10 strikes. As we continue this inning here, again, 13 combined hits, 10 of them belonging here to the Warriors, as Johnston picks up his first hit of the game, and Ryan Langling now stepping on up. He is 1 for 2 on the day. So far, Langling has popped out and singled. And he takes a look at strike one on the outer third. Again, this one has gotten a little bit out of hand, not terribly in the grand scheme of things, but Waukee showing their prowess with the bat. 10 hits. Attempt there, nicely done, but just squeaks out of the glove of Kemmer.
Yeah, good move there by Valdez. Almost had him. Throw just got away from Kemmer, but not far enough for the runner to advance.
Johnston did have somebody warming up, but now has taken that guy out, so they're looking to go with Valdez a little bit longer here, and I got to think that they're trying to make this trying to let his leash go a little bit longer here. And now the dish, that one, nice swing through. Looked like he may have gotten a bit of it, but now we go to a 2-strike count here. A runner on first. There have been 2 line-out double plays for the Johnston Dragons defensively. It's helped them get out of a couple jams. Runner taken off to second. Nonetheless, that will be out number 3, and all she wrote for Waukee here in this half of the inning. But in the grand scheme of things, 2 more runs have crossed the plate. We now have a 6-1 advantage here for the Waukee Warriors. And we'll get the chance to dive into this even more when we come back for the Johnston Dragons, Kemmer, Hupner, and Tell when we return right here on the IA Baseball Network. Hey everybody, got something special for all you electric fence owners out there. It's called Insolites. The LED flashing insulated light that you can see from up to half a mile or more away. It's so great you can see it from the comforts of your car or even your own home. That's right, you can put it onto almost any type of post out there, run the wire right through it, and that's all you need to do. Because Insolites goes with the pulse of the fence. So if there is no pulse, there is no flashing light, helping you locate where a problem may be or where a problem may exist that you didn't know was happening. It's simple as that. So you don't need to ground anything, add any bulky equipment, or shock yourself to test if your fence is working. All you need to do today is head to insolites.com and get you some, and you will not be disappointed. It's simplicity at its finest. So go ahead to insolites.com today and get you some. Oh, and by the way, make sure to tell them that IA Baseball sent you. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us here. It is the bottom of inning number 4 as we rock here. Again, broadcast brought to you by the Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse in Galena, Illinois. thanks for joining us and joining the broadcast here. That one fouled back as Kemmer steps on up to the plate here for the second time in this one. And now is an 0-1 count here. Last time up, he struck out. And actually, the last time he was up at the plate was when they had one of those double-offs there. That one shot out in center field going back. And nicely done. A little bit of having to go back, and still snag that one with the glove. That was a deep out. So, again, kudos to Kemmer for reaching near the warning track in a AAA ballpark.
Yeah, that ball was hit really hard, and I don't think Biggs expected it to go that far as he just kind of drifted back, and then ended up making a kind of over-the-shoulder catch on the track.
Which is a heck of a play. And in the end, you see that why he's there defensively. You're in a 4A squad. You're in Waukee. Defensively, you have to be up to snuff. And he gets that one now as Owen Hupfer back up to the plate. He has driven home the only run here of the day for Johnston. He takes a look at ball one. A 1-0 count here with one down. Grant Sorensen on the mound has a trio of strikeouts under his belt so far. And that one is laced up the middle, right back from whence it came and beyond, as that will be a 2-for-2 night so far here for the cleanup spot in Owen Hupfer. And now Mason Tell stepping on up to the plate.
Yeah, 2 great at-bats by Hupfer so far this game. Not trying to do too much, just hitting line drives in the middle of the field.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, as we go through, don't forget, we have our rankings reveal, which has already come up. You can check that out on the IA Sports YouTube page. Both of these teams have found new spots in the top 15, but still top 15 teams at that. Waukee has been consistently on the up track here. Johnston, a little scuffles as of late have brought them down in the rankings, but you can go ahead and check them out. IA Sports on YouTube. Make sure to check that out today. And again, as we go through, don't forget also to like, subscribe, spread the word. Our High and Tight program with our Player of the Week is coming on up here tomorrow. A chance for you guys to catch up on all we have going on there. Again, also submit your videos and just overall stats for Amazing Scene this week. New episode that we're trying to run is that one is foul.
That ball smoked down the line, and I thought it may have just snuck over the base, but called a foul ball, and that would have for sure been extra bases and likely a run for the Dragons.
And in the end, it hurts because now instead of an RBI double, you're now sitting here with a 1-2 count, and you're kind of sitting behind the 8 ball here. Sorensen looks now, deals home, and that one not quite with us. I didn't bring the extendo arm here today, so I can't quite grab that souvenir.
Yeah, and usually, when you're at an Iowa Cubs game here, you see a mad dash from all the kids to get the foul balls. But tonight I did hear them say I think they need them back. So I haven't quite seen the enthusiasm from the youngsters to get the foul balls in the seats tonight.
And that one is an outer edge strike, so call it what you will behind the plate. But in the end, consistency of that outer edge of the plate has been called strike a little bit more than not, as that is 3 strikes and the 4th punch out of the game here for Grant Sorensen on the mound. Now that brings up Avi Taylor, who is also a strikeout victim. 1 runner on here for the Dragons. That one swung through for strike 1. So it started off with a Sam Kemmer deep fly. Owen Hupfer has now gone 2 for 2 with a single. Mason Tell just struck out there, now bringing us Taylor, who is 0 for 1 so far in the game. That one gets hit high, and that one's going deep to right field, and that will be a nice on-the-run play. Gosh, that outfield's got some wheels. And that ends up with out number 3. So with that, we go 4 batters deep, and Johnston unable to scratch across a run. It's now 4 hits for Johnston, 10 for Waukee. And as we go through Always make sure to catch up on what we've got going on social media as well. Some great highlights from this game, clips of this broadcast, and what we got going on with our man on the field as well. We're going to take a quick step aside. We'll come back after this right here on the IA Baseball Network. Hey, everybody, got something special for all you electric fence owners out there. It's called Insulites, the LED flashing insulated light that you can see from up to half a mile or more away. It's so great you can see it from the comforts of your car or even your own home. That's right, you can put it onto almost any type of post out there, run the wire right through it, and that's all you need to do. Because Insulites goes with the pulse of the fence. So if there is no pulse, there is no flashing light, helping you locate where a problem may be or where a problem may exist that you didn't know was happening. It's simple as that. So you don't need to ground anything, add any bulky equipment, or shock yourself to test if your fence is working. All you need to do today is head to insulites.com and get you some, and you will not be disappointed. It's simplicity at its finest. So go ahead to insulites.com today and get you some. Oh, and by the way, make sure to tell them that IA Baseball sent you. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We continue on with more here from Principal Park. That one is laced out to left field, and early on, some good play here as Waukee continues to rock, and they continue to roll here early on in this one. As that was Will Biggs to start things off. Biggs is now 3 for 3 on the game. And that's kind of how you want a guy who has just giving you a highlight reel in center field, but now doing great stuff with the bat. Braden Moore stepping back up to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts from 2 different pitchers.
Yeah, Biggs with a great start to this game. Looks very comfortable in center field, making a couple nice running catches deep into this big ballpark. And then, like you said, 3 for 3 at the plate.
So again, top of inning number 5. A 1-0 count here to the next man up. Again, Will Biggs started off with his 3rd hit of the game, and now Braden Moore stepping on up. The 1-0 count. And he'll look at a bunt, pull it back. In the end, it's an even now count, 1-1. You saw Will Nuss, who knows what's going on in this situation, has done it in his sleep. He now stands on the infield grass while it's double play depth for the middle infield. That one, a shot right side, a pickup, and the race to the bag will be won by Valdez as he will pick up the out. And in the meantime, Waukee gets a runner into scoring position.
Yeah, good job by Valdez there getting over. Nice flip by Kemmer to get the out at first. The runner was moving on that pitch, so he no chance to get anyone at second. So we got a guy on second here, and Waukee looking to really extend this and kind of blow this game wide open.
They already have 11 hits in this one. 6 runs have crossed the board. Lincoln Brown now coming on up. He lined into one of those double plays in the last time up in the 3rd inning. He is officially 0 for 2 on the day. So the 1-0 count here. Runner on second. Waukee has been the aggressor offensively here. They've scored in all but 1 inning so far in this game. And that one right up the middle. And will we get a runner coming home? We will not. Nice throw from the outfield here as that one keeps things rolling right along. Nice job by Taylor in the outfield.
Now batting, first baseman, Kale Silent.
And Waukee continuing to just rack up hits and really doing a good job staying up the middle of the field, not swinging out of their shoes, just barreling everything up the middle. And for the first time, we do see some movement in the Waukee bullpen. Looks like actually might be Braden Moore down there going to throw some pitches. And, Sorensen only at 47 pitches, but with a 5-run lead, if they can extend here, you may look to, save his arm a little bit if they can add a few more runs here.
Saylor now up at the plate. 1 for 2, I should say. A single back in the fourth, struck out back in the second. And the pitch on that one is a slow roller, but that will be deemed foul. Look to catch just enough of foul territory by the plate, and we go to an 0-2 count. And runners on the corners here. There is just one down. And you got to think maybe the runner at first looking for a chance to head. That one is hit high, and that will be unplayable into the seats. Right towards the fans there. No one gets hurt, though, and we're back at it. So the 2-strike count. There is one batter out here in this inning. Runners on the corners here for the Warriors. A look to fire, and that one just gets all around in the end, foul ball. So up after Saylor will be DeJesus and Sorensen should they continue on here, barring any double play situation. That one up high and ball one.
Yeah, huge at bat here. Valdez would strike out here would be huge, or some weak contact up the middle would likely be a double play ball. So, you look at a 5-run lead, fifth inning, any more is going to be really tough for Johnston to come back on.
That one shot left side, but that will be caught in the outfield, and then there will be the throw home. The runner taken off will catch the plate in time, and we will have another run crossing the board here for Waukee. It's now a 7-1 advantage on the sac fly.
Concession stand. Iowa Cubs concession stand will close in about 18 minutes at 7:30. So get on down there and get your food and your beverages. 7:30.
So you hear that, Quinn. Beverages going out here. Now's the time to book it, as we now have Gavin DeJesus up at the plate.
Yeah, I was expecting some kind of spread up here. Couldn't you have got some catering or something?
I'll have more pull next year.
Come on.
So we have one runner on. Gavin DeJesus, who has gotten on base in all 3 trips to the plate so far, steps up. He's officially 3 for 3 with 2 singles, a triple, and a stolen base. So if you're looking for player of the game material, certainly has what it takes here so far in this game. Tried to get him over there at first.
Yeah, close play. Valdez with a really quick move.
So as we continue on here, once again, we are in the 5th inning of action, top half of the 5th. Waukee with 12 hits in this one, 3 of them belonging to DeJesus in the leadoff spot. And one thing you love to see, if you're Coach Dirks, and you knew it coming in with DeJesus, this is a guy that just finds his way on. And you know what? When you can get early action like that, and you can find a way to make 3 runs in the first, then it's just a downhill battle from there. That one not quite in the zone, ball 2.
Yeah, unique leadoff hitter, and that he can, hits really high average. He can run, but he's also got some pop in the bat. So, kind of really a versatile player. Tough to get out.
So here we stand with a runner on first. Johnston and Waukee for the 5th time. That one's hit up high, and that one's going to not breach the outfield grass. It will be a nice play out there, heading back towards the outfield. But in the end, that will be a nice grab here from Hupfer, as he will wrap up this half of the inning. So the top half looks at 1 run crossing the plate here for the Warriors. They now lead this one 7-1 on 12 hits compared to 4 here for the Johnston Dragons. And when we come back, Johnston will try and get back into this one with Minks, Kinney, and Helming right after this here on the IA Baseball Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Hey, everybody, got something special for all you electric fence.
RDA Financial Network is a proud sponsor of IABaseball.com. RDA supports the sport of baseball in the state of Iowa. We believe the game of baseball promotes many values such as hard work, determination, and teamwork, values that matter on and off the baseball field, and values that we demonstrate to our clients every day in our offices across the country. RDA provides financial planning and wealth management services to our clients in 6 communities in the state of Iowa. RDA Financial Network is an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. RDA advisors may offer securities through United Planners Financial Services, a member of FINRA and SIPC. United Planners is not affiliated with RDA Financial Network nor iabaseball.com. Please visit rdafn.com to find an RDA advisor near you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Max Minks, we see him back up here as we get started here with the bottom half of inning number 5. And that's a good sign here that we see Minks back. Kind of wonder what the arm situation is like for him, but at least we get his bat here. So the 1-0 count now looks at that one shot right side. That will get into the outfield grass. Nicely done. Again, you want that bat in the lineup here. Minks provides, and now he's officially 1 for 2 on the day as Sam Kinney's stepping on up to the plate. That's the 4th first pitch hit that we have seen in this ball game, and both these teams not afraid to do that as it has been an equal spread here today.
Yeah, good piece of hitting by Minks there, putting the line drive to the right side.
So a check swing ends up going by the wayside, strike 1. Runner was taken off there, so you got to imagine here that they're going to try and make that happen. So the 0-1 count here. We're in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 12 hits for Waukee, 5 now for the Johnston Dragons. The pitch has just got enough of that to keep the runner there. 0-2 the count. So we had 3 runs in the first inning for Waukee, 1 in the first inning for Johnston, and since then it has been all Waukee, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th.
Yeah, and you just got to think, with Johnston running out of opportunities here, only 9 outs left, really can't wait any longer. If they want to get back in this game, got to put a couple up this inning to stay in it.
And so, again, in that last inning for the Waukee Warriors, they picked up 2 more hits to again give them 12 on the day. And there's another strikeout here for Sorensen, as that will be his 5th strikeout of the game. He is quietly making a name for himself on the mound here as he sets down the first out here of the inning. And now it brings up Trevin Helming to the plate.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see a pinch hitter here in Cosman. He's seen a lot of action at shortstop this year. He'll come in and bat from the left side here in a pinch hit opportunity.
So Cosman with his first chance at the plate here for Johnston. They have 1 down, and they're trying to get the offense rolling. Just 9 outs left, and it's been one of those just a hard slates. Sorensen has put up 5 strikeouts, but in the end, there's been a lot of hits that just kind of at guys, just kind of tough breaks in the end. As that one's in there for the strike here, 1-1. So infield creeping in just a bit as Johnson remains just off of the grass now. You got to think that, again, Johnston not afraid to do some things here, whether it be small ball or hitting or swinging for the fences. Certainly they have capability to do all of that. But now with 2 strikes, you kind of lose that bunt attempt feel as we have a 1-2 count with a runner on. That one fouled back.
Heads up over there.
Maybe you get a lucky souvenir or maybe not so lucky, depending on how that one interacted with you. Again, it's a 7-1 ball game. Waukee up, but Johnston trying to do something here, and in the end, that one goes too far inside. And his first trip up, Cosman will be sent to the base pass via hit by pitch.
Yeah, and you know Johnston's going to take advantage of anything thrown inside off the plate, especially with 2 strikes. And Cosman does a good job there rolling into that one and taking the HBP.
And with that, that'll bring the top of the lineup, Kyler Steck, back up to the plate. 1 for 2 so far, single back in the first. Later came around to score the only run of the game here for Johnston.
Look out,
he
Coach
sends
Campbell.
that one out there to Barta. Got to give a shout out to Coach Barta here.
No, Bart is not athletic enough to coach third base, Andrew.
Or sorry, excuse me about that. I gotta give a shout out here to the third base coach,
Coach Campbell.
and Coach Campbell.
Yeah, you got to be on your toes over there.
You know, Coach Campbell did get that hand up though, so he was ready for something coming his way.
Yeah, got out of the way, avoided disaster.
But in the end, you get a lot of hot rockets coming your way at third. You know that very well. You coach third base.
Yeah, for sure. And I was a big fan of staying way away from that third base coaching box and just getting back by the fence. And then once that ball was put in play, then I'll get up there and be as loud as I can. But I wanted to stay far away from that batter as possible.
Well, in the end, you could you could be the hero there. You know, get a highlight reel. You know, barehanded catch is always going to make SportsCenter.
Now, if I had an opportunity to get a ground ball, maybe a chopper, I may try to make a play. But anything hit on a line, you're seeing me dart out.
All right, now we have a 2-strike count, 1-2 with one down, 2 runners on for the Johnston Dragons. That one tails outside here, and now we even it up. You know, Johnston has had, for the most part, all except 1 inning, they've had a runner onto the base pass, so you can't really fault the Dragons too much. They have put runners on, just getting them home has kind of been the challenge.
Yeah, just haven't been able to get that big inning and string some base hits or hard hit balls together.
Well, something's going to happen here. We're either going to get bases loaded, we're going to get an out, or we're going to get some big action happening here. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. 3-2 count. 1 down. Sorensen with the look to second. Fires home. That one will get out there. That one will go high, but that will trail into the glove out there and right. There will be no advancement here as Meeker with a strong arm. No one really wants to test that too much. But in the end, we have 2 down here for Johnston in their comeback bid. Will Nuss stepping on up to the plate. 1 for 2, lined out in the first and singled back in the third inning.
Yeah, Will Nuss been one of the bright spots at the plate for Johnston. Has hit the ball hard, both of his at-bats. One, he really hard out to left field for a single, and the other one just short hop to third base. We got thrown out at first.
That one chopped foul, 0-1. Again, Andrew Brown, Quinn O'Brien here from Principal Park. What a great venue. Again, make sure you can catch this in a rerun right here on the iSports YouTube page. Great place to catch up all of our great content from high and tight shows, rankings reveal, and of course, all across the iSports network. Great chances for you to get involved and, again, get your thoughts in. As now we bring the count even at 1-1. Sorensen still on the mound. We had a little bit of action in the Waukee bullpen, but we'll see where it ends up here. A nice, healthy hack, but can't quite catch up to that one here. The 2-strike count now with 2 down.
Yeah, Waukee coming out here and likely going to change their signals, probably thinking Johnston may have had a chance to signal in some pitches here with Minks being out at second now for 10 or 12 pitches.
And again, however you can get Minks into the ball game defensively as well, it's always a strong thing. But in the end, you got to walk that line pretty tightly here. In the end, the coaching staff does a great job of that. Right now, 1-2 count here with 2 down. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back. We remain at 1-2. So again, this is game 3 of the 3-game slate here. Recently wrapped up before this. Nevada picked up a win over, I believe, PCM on row. And again, you can catch that on the broadcast there on our social media page. That one into the center field glove. Biggs with an absolute great game here today. We'll talk more about him when we come back as he thwarts a big inning bid here for Johnston. It's still a 7-1 mark, and we'll be back after this here across the IA Baseball Network. Don't go anywhere.
RDA Financial Network is a proud sponsor of IABaseball.com. RDA supports the sport of baseball in the state.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you coming along for the ride here as we enter into inning number 6. And now we continue to roll on here. Grant Sorensen stepping on up to the plate here for the Warriors. Again, it will be 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup here as we get rock and strike 1 here to start off the at-bat here for Sorensen, marking his 4th of the game. 2 for 3, a strikeout, 2 singles, is driven into. And that one fouled back quickly, 0-2 the count.
There's a new pitcher out there for Johnston, replacing Valdez, will be number 21, Aiden Downing, the junior, into the game.
And Downing looking to do looking to keep things as is right now. A hard mark to do. And that one got the attention of the fans there. Trying to look up Downing. So far, he has 1 game played, has 1 strikeout on the season. You would love to get another here against a big mark in South Dakota State commit here in Grant Sorensen. That one too far out of the way, brings it even at 2 apiece. Again, 35th meeting in the all-time series. 10-1 Johnston has been over the last 11 games, but right now Waukee looking to edge their way back into this one here. And they lead this one by a commanding mark of 7-1. Again, this broadcast brought to you by the Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse in Galena, Illinois. Make sure to check them out today as you get the chance. Again, they help bring us our broadcasts each and every day. And that one is hit up high. Kemmer will look to field that one, and he does. A strong out there, and that's one where you take a little bit of sigh of relief knowing that a big bat just went down.
Yeah, that's for sure. Meeker obviously able to do a lot of damage, and, one of the sometimes easiest way to deal with a hitter like him is to just make sure no one's on before him.
He's officially 0 for 1, but hit by pitch twice. He does have a stolen base under his belt. And he takes a look at strike 1 on the outer edge. So again, our timeline here has been both teams scored in the first inning, 3 from Waukee, 1 from Johnston. As that pitch is on the inner half, but no go, 1-1. Then it's been all Waukee from there. 2 runs in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth. They have 12 hits so far to Johnston's 5. There has been just 1 error in the game. And that's kind of something that we thought might happen if we get an error at all from both of these teams.
Yeah, it's been a very well-played defensive game, especially from the Waukee outfielders. Johnston putting a few balls deep into the gaps, and Will Biggs out there has patrolled center field really well tonight.
And that's what I wanted to talk about here. As a freshman, you get in there, and you're getting guys who can take it deep, who can really play the field offensively. It's really hard when you go against a lot of these guys who, again, have experience under their belts, and you get a guy from Waukee as a freshman, you think he's going places for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You usually don't see that kind of, those kind of instincts, and just how comfortable he is out there definitely doesn't look like a freshman.
Foul back here, but some of the plays he has made, that Kemmer fly out to center, it looked like he may have misjudged it for half a second there. He had to catch it on the run heading toward the warning track, but in the end, I think he's a guy where his skills can make up for even the slightest mistake. That one is another strikeout. Johnston packing it on here, the first strikeout here of the game for Downing, as that is his second of the season, second consecutive out, which brings up Carter Johnston to the plate.
Yeah, really good job by Downing so far coming into the game, throwing strikes, really competing, trying to keep Johnston in this game.
Carter Johnston has gone 1 for 2 so far. He has a single, strikeout, and a walk. Is that one too far away here? We have a 1-0 count. Again, 12 overall hits here for Waukee. They've spread it out. They went 2-2-2-2, and then we get to the fourth inning with 4 runs. We had 2 more runs in the fifth, and they're looking to not go 1-2-3 here in this bottom half, or top half of the sixth. We have a 2-1 count here, still with 2 down.
There is someone warming in the Johnston bullpen, just in case they can't get back in this game, need another arm. I believe that is Ryan Carpenter down there, number 30, so kind of a sidearm guy. So we'll see if Johnston will need him, or if Downing can get out of this inning and Johnston can get back in the game when they get up to the plate.
Got to give Downing a lot of credit here. He has taken down Sorensen and Meeker, 2 of the heaviest hitters in this lineup. Johnston now sends that one back, and it will deposit itself nicely into the seats. Well, we get a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. It's been an all Waukee game here from after the first inning. That one in the dirt, and that one puts them on. So now Waukee can say, in every single inning in this game, they have had at least 1 runner onto the base pass, and this team has constantly put the pressure on in all facets of the game.
Walking up to the plate, the catcher, Ryan Lingling.
And Lingling with a big hit. His last at bat, pokes one into right center. I believe it scored a run.
So far he has popped out, singled, and struck out. That one gets away, and now runner taken off. He'll be going to second. The throw will not be in time. Nice throw from Kemmer, but in the end, a wild throw-in puts a runner into scoring position yet again for the Waukee Warriors. And once again, they can also say they've had a runner in scoring position in every inning this game.
Yeah, Downing trying to pick off attempt there and over Kemmer's head, and ricocheted hard off of something right there that actually had a chance at second base, but Johnson in there safe.
So here we go. The empty count and to the 5-hole man here for the Warriors. That one too far outside. Haven't seen many too far outside. But again, Downing trying to get out of this one. And the pitch, nicely done. That breaker had him guessing there at first and drops nicely in there.
Yeah, good movement on that pitch from Downing.
Waukee has only been held scoreless one inning in this game. And Downing with a chance to make it 2 here. This is Omen's work out of the pen right now. So from Principal Park, 7-1 Waukee advantage here. The look, the fire. Try to get him swinging on the outside pitch up and away. I think I'd do the same, trying to get a not solid contact there. In the end, we know what Langling's capable of doing. He scored a run last time in one of his last 2 at-bats anyway. That one no-go there, brings it full. So we have a runner on second. There is 2 down. Waukee with the 7-1 advantage. Downing on the mound here for the Dragons. And the pitch. That one framed nicely, but not well enough, as that will put now 2 runners onto the base pass. And that'll bring up Will Biggs to the plate, who has gone 3 for 3. He has driven in 3 runs. And he has been a near impossible out here. In fact, he has been an impossible out here today.
Yeah, Downing was cruising through this inning until those last 2 at-bats, and now you can really get yourself in some trouble here if you give up a big hit to Biggs.
Biggs, once again, has not been out. He's been onto the base pass all 3 trips, and they have all been via the hit. Again, he had a 2-run single back in the first, a 1-run single in the third, and singled back in the 5th. Here is the pitch. That one caught the outside edge just enough. Evens it up now at 1 apiece. So Johnston trying to hold Waukee here. But Waukee with 2 down has had 2 consecutive walks. And a chance with a big hitter up here in Biggs. Lays off of that one for chin music, ball number 2. And again, Biggs, he's just a freshman. We talk about that. You get a lot of seniors, upperclassmen that show poise the way he's showing poise here today. That one caught the outer edge, and I will say, nice job behind the plate there, as he, in my estimation, stole a little bit away there, but you got to play the position, and they've done so pretty well here tonight.
Yeah, that looked to be just off the plate, but they've been kind of consistently getting that pitch. So
runner taken off to third. The swing will be for strike 3. And Downing, got to give credit to this young man. He has gone through the heart of that order, and he has come out unscathed. It's still a 7-1 advantage when we get the chance to head on back. In the bottom half, the Dragons will bring out Kemmer, Hupfer, and Tell when we return right here on the IA Baseball Network. Don't go anywhere.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Brown alongside Quinn O'Brien. Thanks for joining us here in the broadcast brought to you by the Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse in Galena, Illinois, helping to bring our broadcast here each and every week. It's time for Johnston now to try and get rolling. They have 6 outs left here. And, you know, I know this team has a lot of guys on here that can handle the pressure, but there's now pressure building up.
Yeah, really tough task trying to get back in this game down 6 with only 6 outs left, but can't count them out. They've been here before, and they're going to keep battling and see if they can make a game of it.
For sure. In that last half inning, 2 walks but no hits for the Waukee Warriors. They remain at 12 hits overall in the game. Meanwhile, Johnston tried to add on to their 5 runs so far. And now Sam Kemmer stepping on up, 0 for 2, strikeout, fly out. And now the pitch, that will be sent back to the net. 0-1 the count. Kemmer, you know, has got to be due for that hit. He's rarely the guy that goes 0 for throughout the course of any game.
Yeah, and put a big drive into it his last at bat, and nice catch out and centered by Biggs.
So he now looks at an 0-2 count to start in his 3rd at bat of the game, 3rd official at bat. That one too far outside. He was up at the plate last time. A big double play happened, which cut his at-bat short in the end. Got back up the next inning. Here he goes. This one swings through that one, and he is set down for out number 1.
Great job by Sorensen. The fastball is still really lively. Doesn't look like he's lost anything off that as he gets up to over 70 pitches, but still really sharp into the 6th inning.
And we were wondering about that. Would they take him out early? But even with that 7-1 lead, as that one gets set high, that was sending Biggs back, and he will end up catching that one deep into center field. And with that, 2 quick outs.
Yeah, and, you know, when you look at a guy like Sorensen, you know, he's their Monday night guy. He's probably only going to start once a week, no matter what. So once he gets over, you know, 50, 55 pitches, you might as well just leave him in, let him finish the game, because you're probably not going to bring him back this week anyway.
Yep.
So you'll just keep him on track for that Monday start every week of the season.
And now that one gets hit high. That will be playable out there on the mound. And Sorensen will help out his own cause. And that was a quick 1-2-3 inning. A second time that the Johnston Dragons have not gotten onto the base paths here. As the pop out 2-1 will end the inning. So no hits, no runs, no errors. Waukee with a chance to try and add to their 6-run advantage. More Brown Sealer coming on up when we return right here on the IA Baseball Network. Don't go anywhere. Hey everybody, got something special for all you electric fence owners out there. It's called Insolites, the LED flashing insulated light that you can see from up to half a mile or more away. It's so great you can see it from the comforts of your car or even your own home. That's right, you can put it onto almost any type of post out there, run the wire right through it, and that's all you need to do. Because Insolites goes with the pulse of the fence. So if there is no pulse, there is no flashing light, helping you locate where a problem may be or where a problem may exist that you didn't know was happening. It's simple as that. So you don't need to ground anything, add any bulky equipment, or shock yourself to test if your fence is working. All you need to do today is head to insolites.com and get you some, and you will not be disappointed. It's simplicity at its finest. So go ahead to insolites.com today and get you some. Oh, and by the way, make sure to tell them that IA Baseball sent you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is Ryan Carpenter up at on the mound here for the Dragons. And again, a senior, an experienced guy, getting the chance to try and keep Waukee at bay here, Quinn.
Yeah, and you're going to see a little different look from Carpenter. He's not going to maybe throw as hard as some of the other guys, but he's got a really low arm slot, kind of a sidearm guy. Tied for the team lead in appearances with 4, but only 3 2/3 innings pitched. So they really use him in spots and good matchups and just trying to give Waukee a different look here.
The first pitch will be swung on, and that will be just enough of it to go foul ball to the 7-hole man in Braden Moore. 2 strikeouts and a ground out in 3 trips to the plate. Trying to get something rocking here. That one, could tell, a nice breaker, but broke a little too much off the plate. Evens it up here. Again, we'll have another broadcast coming for you on Wednesdays. We'll look to try and give you a 2A battle between Pocahontas and Alta Aurelia. Make sure to check out that broadcast on the iSports YouTube page.
Where's that game at, Andrew?
I believe it's at Alta.
Okay. Alta, really, you have to say hi to my buddy Burkhart, the head coach over there.
Love Coach Burkhart. I hope that he can fund. You know what? Anytime you want anybody to fundraise for you, that's got to be the guy.
Yeah.
He finds he can find gold in the middle of anywhere. I swear. That one tried to paint the outside corner, brings it full 3-2, but he helped spur on a great campaign to get a lot of new stuff, now a lot of upgrades to the facilities that they have there, and great history behind it. Again, ties to the Pittsburgh Pirates and more. So he has really embraced that as Moore gets set down for the third time via strikes in this one.
Yeah, Burkhart is the fundraising king. His guys are delivering softener salt or quarters of beef to all over the county. So anything he can do to, like you said, improve his squad, improve his ballpark, improve the community, he's definitely going to do it. And he works really hard over there and has done a really good job with that team.
That one gets laced out there, and a nice diving attempt. And they do call the out. What a job out there by Kenny and left. That's how you work it out there, trying to catch that, keep that one in front of you. Kind of one of those, do you go for it, do you not? And in the end, chose right in a good play for the out.
Yeah, really nice diving attempt by Kenny there. And if that ball gets past him, he may end up with an inside the park home run because that likely rolls slowly all the way to the wall. So really good job there by Kenny. So
with 2 down, now that brings up Kale Seiler to the plate, So far, he has struck out, singled, and a sacrifice RBI under his belt. And that one catches the outside grid just enough here for strike one. He evens it up now at 1 apiece. Again, we will be catching up a broadcast on Wednesday. Make sure to catch that there all across the IA Baseball Network. And the next pitch, that one's hit high, but that will be out of play. As Seiler will look at a 1-2 count here with 2 down. Again, our high and tight program comes your way tomorrow, and make sure to catch it as we'll give it to you at 5 o'clock tomorrow. 5 o'clock, if not earlier. Swing through on that one, and that will be all she wrote. 2 strikeouts here for the senior in Carpenter as he sets him down and now gives him a chance to get back into this one in the bottom half of the 7th. It's Taylor, Minks, and Kenny when we come back right after this here on the IA Baseball Network. Hey everybody, got something special for all you electric fence owners out there. It's called Insolites. The LED flashing insulated light that you can see from up to half a mile or more away. It's so great you can see it from the comforts of your car or even your own home. That's right, you can put it onto almost any type of post out there, run the wire right through it, and that's all you need to do. Because Insolites goes with the pulse of the fence. So if there is no pulse, there is no flashing light, helping you locate where a problem may be or where a problem may exist that you didn't know was happening. It's simple as that. So you don't need to ground anything, add any bulky equipment, or shock yourself to test if your fence is working. All you need to do today is head to insolites.com and get you some, and you will not be disappointed. It's simplicity at its finest. So go ahead to insolites.com today and get you some. Oh, and by the way, make sure to tell them that IA Baseball sent you. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining our broadcast here, brought to you by the Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse in Galena, Illinois. Again, you can't get any better. Check them out today. Have yourself a trip. Relax. Enjoy some great dining today at the Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse in Galena, Illinois.
Center fielder, Avi Taylor.
If you do make it out to the Log Cabin, wouldn't be surprised you see Coach Tischer over there. I think he has a reserved booth.
Oh, yeah, he has to. You know what? And, if you do, make sure you get the Tischer discount.
mention the Golden Eagles. They may help you out.
Well, back into the game we go here again, as we now have a 1-1 count here. The Johnston Dragons down to their final 3 outs. Javi Taylor so far is 0 for 2. Would love to get something going here. Now finds himself down 1-2 in the count. Sorensen continues to deal on the mound, and he gets another strikeout there. Count it, K number 7 on the night. He has been wildly effective here. It hasn't been all that flashy at times, but man, he sure has done the due diligence there. As now Maxim Minks up at the plate, 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single, which came back in the 5th. Our hit total looks like this: 12 hits for the Waukee Warriors, 5 hits for the Johnston Dragons. That one in there for a strike. Johnston has touched up 1 run back in the first, but has been shut out since. Meanwhile, Waukee has posted 3 runs in the first, 2 in the third, and 1 apiece in the 4th and 5th innings. As that one is swung on there for strike 2. So Johnston, again, known for their prowess and, again, deep postseason runs. Right now, Johnston coming into this game, they have been 1-4 in the last 5 games. Or excuse me, 1-3 in the last 5 games. As that one is swung on, and we have the first strikeout here of the inning. Excuse me, second strikeout of the inning, and 8th strikeout of the game here for Grant Sorensen. Sam Kinney now up at the plate, 0 for 2 with a pop out and a strikeout himself. Again, overall, Johnston at 6-4, 1-2 inside conference play. Is that one too far outside? That one also not quite in the zone. We bring it to 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, and you'll for sure see a take here from Kinney. Got to get him on if you want to have any kind of shot here, obviously, down to their last breath.
That one in there for the strike. Waukee 10-1 on the season, 3-0, looking to go 4-0 in conference play here. Here's the pitch. That one rocketed right side. That will get into the outfield grass. And we have action as Sam Kinney picks up his first hit of the ball game, and they needed it here, down with 2 down in the bottom half of inning number 7.
Yeah, good swing by Kinney there. 3-1 count. It's all fastball over the plate and hammered it to the right side.
That's what you want. That's what you asked for them to do. As we take a look at the road ahead, brought to you by Insolites at insolites.com here for Waukee. Next up will be a game on Wednesday, a doubleheader in the inner city battle against Waukee Northwest on the road. Meanwhile, for Johnston, their next battle following this will be a doubleheader on that same day at home against Valley.
Yeah, no breaks in the CIML this year. A lot of really good teams. Waukee and Waukee Northwest, as you mentioned, should be a great doubleheader this week. And then Johnston, no breaks as they go play Valley, who after dropping first game of the year, I believe, rattled off 8 in a row, and a really good pitching staff over there and tough to deal with.
And they've entered the top 15. They started at the season, and they've kept rolling up from there. I believe top 10 inside the newest rankings, which you can find by heading to IA Sports on YouTube. Week 3 team rankings revealed. And the 1-2 count here. And the look from Sorensen, the fire too far, low and away, trying to make him chase here, brings it even. So 2s are wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes. There is 1 runner on. Waukee trying to remain unblemished in conference play. The look and the fire. That one shot right side. That will be into the outfield grass. And now we will get runners on the corners here. And don't count the Dragons out yet. Runners now at first and third with 2 down.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there. Punch it to the right side. Kinney was off with the pitch. They weren't holding him, up 6 in the last inning. So he goes all the way to third. And now you get the top of the lineup back up for the Dragons. And if Steck can get on, then you get kind of your hottest hitter tonight in Will Nuss at the plate with a chance to at least make it a little interesting here.
So, again, Steck is 1 for 3, a single back in the first. Would certainly love to make a connection here and get this game to be more interesting. Shoots that one foul for strike 1. Again, Andrew Brown and Quinn O'Brien here giving you the play-by-play here, and hopefully you've enjoyed this battle here today, which has been mostly Waukee as they hold the hits advantage 12-7 and runs advantage 7-1. That one too high, wisely lays off and brings it even here. Will Nuss up next, 1 for 3 as well on the game. They're hoping to get to him, meaning at least hopefully scoring 1 here. That one caught the outer edge, which has remained consistent tonight.
Yeah, tough to complain. I mean, that pitch is for sure off the plate, but it's been pretty consistently called.
So here we go, the 1-2, the delivery, and they rung him up. Grant Sorensen, strikeout number 9 on the game, ends it for the Waukee Warriors, who win this one by a 7-1 mark.
Johnston 1.
So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the game here. Waukee will now improve their record. They remain undefeated in conference action here as they improve to 4-0 in conference play, 11-1 overall in their record. Meanwhile, for the Johnston Dragons and their defeat here today, that sends them down to 6-5 on the season, 1-3 in conference play. As we take a look at the road ahead for both squads, we take a look first at the Johnston Dragons. Coming on up here the rest of this week, again, they travel back home on Wednesday for a doubleheader against Valley, and then they turn around and take on Dowling Catholic in a road doubleheader as they wrap up the week there. Meanwhile, for the Waukee Warriors, in our Insolites.com road ahead, we take a look at the Civil War here against Waukee Northwest on Wednesday, a doubleheader battle before they take on Urbandale at home on the 5th. And that will wrap up their week here as well. We're going to take a quick break. We'll give you a wrap-up of what the stats look like, and we'll go ahead and conclude this game after this right here on the iBaseball Network. Don't go anywhere. It is our Log Cabin Greek Steakhouse post-game report right after this. Hey, everybody, got something special for all you electric fence owners out there. It's called Insolites, the LED flashing insulated light that you can see from up to half a mile or more away. It's so great you can see it from the comforts of your car or even your own home. That's right, you can put it onto almost any type of post out there, run the wire right through it, and that's all you need to do. Because Insolites goes with the pulse of the fence. So if there is no pulse, there is no flashing light, helping you locate where a problem may be or where a problem may exist that you didn't know was happening. It's simple as that. So you don't need to ground anything, add any bulky equipment, or shock yourself to test if your fence is working. All you need to do today is head to Insolites.com and get you some, and you will not be disappointed. It's simplicity at its finest. So go ahead to Insolites.com today and get you some. Oh, and by the way, make sure to tell them that IA Baseball sent you.
RDA Financial Network is a proud sponsor of IABaseball.com. RDA supports the sport of baseball in the state of Iowa. We believe the game of baseball promotes many values such as hard work, determination, and teamwork, values that matter on and off the baseball field. and values that we demonstrate to our clients every day in our offices across the country. RDA provides financial planning and wealth management services to our clients in 6 communities in the state of Iowa. RDA Financial Network is an SEC-registered investment advisory firm. RDA advisors may offer securities through United Planners Financial Services, a member of FINRA and SIPC. United Planners is not affiliated with RDA Financial Network nor iabaseball.com. Please visit rdafn.com to find an RDA advisor near you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. A 7-1 victory for the Waukee Warriors as they take the win here. That's their 4th straight conference win to kick off the 2025 campaign. And again, this was one here that in the end, Quinn, despite the loss here for the Johnston Dragons, in the end, they had just 1 inning in which they didn't secure at least 1 hit. So they've been pretty solid in their approach. They got guys on in almost every inning. So they were busy. They did what they put some pressure on there. But in the end, Sorensen did just enough to keep the barrels away and, for the most part, the strikeouts.
Yeah, it was a really well-played game defensively. I believe there was only 2 errors in the game, ironically both made by pitchers on pickoff attempts. So coach has got to be happy with the defensive effort. But, 2 kind of storylines in this game. One, Sorensen was just dominant. And, you look at the stat line, he goes a complete game, only gives up the 1 in the first inning, throws, almost 100 pitches, scattered 7 hits is the big thing.
Yeah.
Didn't put anyone on free, no walks, only hit 1 guy. And just never gave up the big hit. Well, Johnston, did have, like you said, guys on almost every inning, but never let a ball in a gap. Only 1 extra base hit in this whole game by either team.
Yeah.
Leadoff triple.
That was the first batter of the game. That's what gave us the only extra base hit in a ballpark that goes deep.
Right. After, DeJesus started it like that, you thought you might see some balls flying around the yard, but it really wasn't the case. Waukee just did such a good job, staying small and just shooting line drives up the middle and to the right side. And, I think if you're Johnston, a rough week last week, a tough one to start this week, really just need to regroup. I think the biggest thing for them is to find some pitchers that are going to go out and compete. I think they'll continue to hit the ball around and put up some runs. But tonight, definitely Waukee's night. Waukee proved, solidified they're the number 1 team in the state, I think. And they're going to be tough to beat because there's no breaks in that lineup. Sorensen's going to be tough, beginning of the week, every week, and they have a number of other arms that may be able to get it done as well. So Waukee's going to be really tough going forward and fun to watch.
Yeah, Johnston now 1-4 in their last 5, but they have a good slate coming up again against Valley at home, Dowling on the road here. Again, what it just kind of makes you think twice a little bit when you only have 1 extra base hit this entire game, which started off the game. Since then, again, Callan for the Dragons, can't fault him too much. He had 3 strikeouts in the game as he started on the mound here for the Johnston Dragons. And then Valdez, I thought, came in effortlessly in the 3rd inning, and he did what he could. In the end, this was a Waukee team that struck for, again, they only had 2 innings in which they didn't score. So they had quite the prolific offense here today. 3 runs in the first. They had 1 run in the 3rd. They had 2 runs in the 4th. And then, again, they didn't score in the 5th and the 6th, so 3 marked that. But in the end, they were very busy when they needed to be. And again, they were a team that every single inning in this game, they got a runner on. And for all but 1 inning, they had a runner in scoring position. So you mentioned it. In the end, they did what they needed to do. They got the pressure put on, and that's how you win games. And in the end, they have 11 games under their belt, the first team in 4A to do so.
Yeah, and with the big offensive numbers they had put up, 10 home runs on the year as a team coming into tonight, leading 4A. And I was really curious as to how the big ballpark would affect them. Would they just be swinging out of their shoes and hitting balls, to the wall? And, it really didn't affect them at all. They proved that they can do what they need to do to move runners and spray the ball around the field up and down the lineup. And really impressive performance tonight by Waukee.
Yeah, again, shows us why, in our estimation, they're the number one team in the state right now. And, honestly, this is a team that is as balanced as I have seen a Waukee team. And we've seen them constantly make the state tournament. They've been a regular for the most part anyway. It just seems like every year they get to the state tournament and they're just a little short in one area, which flares up, obviously, when state tournament time comes. But I mean, could this be the year that we see the Waukee Warriors go the full distance here?
Yeah, like you said, kind of regulars at the state tournament, but have struggled to get past that first round. The last 4 or 5 times they've made it, and to be honest, the thing that's kind of held them back is offense. They haven't had those guys that can hit it out of the park or hit a ball in the gap when they really needed it. And this year, it really seems like they found those guys. It's really young guys.
Yep.
Biggs, who had a great game tonight, 3 hits and played a great center field. He's been getting it done. And then obviously Meeker appears to be, at least through the first, 2+ weeks of the season, the best power hitter in the state. So, they've really kind of filled in those pieces. And like you said, this could be the year that they really break through and make a really deep run in the state tournament.
Yeah, again, this is a Waukee squad that is from Kaufman to Driscoll. Again, they've had a lot of good pitching over the years, and that's kind of been the kind of one of their big bread and butters here. Anthony Watts as well, Doyle, a lot of guys, Wentworth as well. I mean, they've relied a lot on that pitching, and in the end, they have offense now to boot. So, again, Waukee with the 7-1 win. And again, we've given you our road ahead, brought to you by Insulates at insulates.com. Again, for the Johnston Dragons, they take on Dowling and they take on Valley and Dowling. And again, next up here for the Waukee Warriors is an inner city battle on the road against Northwest. So for myself, Andrew Brown, and of course Quinn O'Brien, again, thanks for joining me here today. Always a fun pleasure. We get you into the broadcast booth for a change.
You bet, Andrew. I had a blast, and it was a lot of fun. 2 good teams, and I look forward to the rest of the season, man.
No doubt about that. We look for more. And speaking of more, again, our High and Tight program tomorrow gives you our Player of the Week, so stay tuned for that. As well as Wednesday. That'll be the next time we're on the broadcast airwaves, so make sure to stay tuned for that announcement coming up shortly. Highlights tonight and all day tomorrow. But until we see each other next time, folks, as we like to say to wrap things up, stay safe on the base pass. Thanks again.